Hello friends, in this video I am going to talk about Java AWT. AWT stands for Abstract Window Toolkit. This is a package given in Java which contains the set of classes useful for developing user interface. These classes are like abstract classes. Abstract in the sense, if you develop a Java program and run on Windows, the flavor of interface will be of Windows only. And same program when you run on Mac, you will get the flavor of Mac operating system. The user interface will be just like Mac operating system user interface. So if it is on Windows, then the application will look like Windows application. If it is running on Mac, it will look like Mac operating system application. If you are running on Linux, then it will look like Linux application. So these classes are not meant for Windows or Mac or Linux, but they are abstract. Wherever they run, they look like a native application. So that's how they don't have their own look and feel. The look and feel will belong to local operating system where the application is running. That's how we say these are abstract. So abstract window toolkit. This window doesn't mean Windows operating system, but the user interface will have containers like frames or windows. We call them as window. We find windows on Linux also, Mac also, and Windows operating system also. So that's how the name comes, Abstract Window Toolkit. See, here I have an example of components of user interface. Like on any operating system which is having graphical user interface, these are the components used, or you can say elements of user interface, like a window, button, label, checkbox, choice, that is drop down box, or a list box, text field where you can type the text, or text area you can type a passage or a paragraph, a scroll bar, menu bar, canvas, so on. These are all the components that are used for developing user interface. Java is having built-in classes for each of these components. For every component, there is a built-in class available in AWT package. So if you see the AWT package, the classes inside AWT package, this is one of the parent class component, and the child classes are canvas, button, checkbox, choice. You can see that choice is nothing but drop down. Button is here, and this is the checkbox, and this is button, this is choice. So for each there is a class available that is inheriting from component, and list, label, scroll bar, so on, and text component. From there the text area and text field are there. Now there is one more interesting thing here. There is one more class that is inheriting from component, that is container. So container is nothing but a frame. So it will contain the components. So container is also a component but which can contain other components. So what are containers? Panel and window, and from window inherits a frame, or from panel inherits a applet, and this example is of an applet. So applet is a container. So we can also develop frames. So usually we use this applets or frames. Mostly we use this. So later we'll discuss what is the difference between frame and applet and how the container looks like and all. So you get the clear picture slowly. So this is one of the important thing, that is container can contain other components. So like here, this entire window is a container, and button, checkbox, radio buttons, text field, all these are components that are contained inside a container. And here you have one more hierarchy, that is menu components, and from there you have menu bar, menu item, and menu, and checkable menu item, that is checkbox menu item, so on. See, I'm using the term component, so let me explain you what a component means. how to define a component. What does it mean by component? Component is a very general term. So component means we get the idea that is there is something small, that is a part which can be fixed somewhere. So yes, it's true. So let us get some clear picture. A component will have three elements. That is, it will have its properties, methods that are nothing but operations or say functions, then events. And this technology, or it's a technical term, component is a technical term, so this is used in every engineering discipline. So here I have a few examples. Suppose from civil engineering, if you can take, there's a tank, overhead tank, right? Now it is having its properties. Properties are what? The type of material used for making this tank, and what is the color of the tank, and how much is the capacity of the tank, right? These are all its properties. Then what are its methods? You can fill it or it can dispense water, right? So filling water or dispensing water. Then what are events? When it is filled and it is overflowing, so it is telling you that something has happened. What has happened? It has filled. It is full now. There is no space. It is informing you by overflowing. So overflowing is an event. You can take it as an event. Then next, underflowing means there is no water. It is empty. You have taken out the whole water. It is empty now. So nothing comes out from it. So that is also an event. When nothing is coming out, it is saying that there is nothing. I am empty. So it is telling you that I am full, or it's telling you that I am empty. There's nothing but something happening there. So that are events. The second example from mechanical engineering, I have taken a timer. Say it is a mechanical timer. So now properties, the timer will have its size and so on, color, whatever the properties that are visible properties or other properties. Then methods, what it can do. You can set the timer, you can reset the timer, or you can start it or you can stop it, right? And events, what are the events? Whatever the time you have set, if it is reached, then it can give a sound or it can give a tick sound or something. Some indication is given to you that something has happened. So that is an event. So you can understand something like this. Properties are used for describing it. That's description, right? And second method is the way you communicate with the component. Like I am filling, so I am communicating with the component, right? Or I am setting the time, I am communicating with the component. Resetting the time, I am communicating with the component. I am saying something to the component. Now, event means the component will say something back to you. Component will inform you about something happening inside the component. So this is two-way communication. Like if this is you and this is component, then when you talk you use methods, and when components talk to you it use events. And one interesting thing is, when you say something to component method, it must listen to you, it must obey you when you call the method. And when the component is generating an event, it's up to you when you want to respond to it or don't want to respond to it. Like if the tank is overflowing, it is informing that I am full. So you want to stop the inflow of water or not, that is in your hand. That is your wish, right? When water is there, when you open the tap, then it must flow out the water. That must happen. So it must follow you. So when you say something, it must obey you, it must respond. And when it is saying something to you, it's up to you to handle it or not handle it. That is your choice. Okay. One more thing I have, that is a fingerprint scanner. So and this properties are color, size, and also and so model and make, a brand name, so on. There can be many properties. You can list many. Fingerprint size, scanner size, right? And USB type, so on. Methods, what it can do. You can scan. It can scan. I can identify two events here. If it is ready, it can give some color of light. And when it has finished scanning, it can give some color, indicate you that finishes scanning. So it can give a sound or beep sound, or it can also change the color of light here, the display light. So some way or LED may be there that may glow that it is ready or it has finished scanning. So it can inform you about this one, right? Like I was telling you here that when it said that it has finished scanning, whether you want to still keep the finger there or remove it, that's up to you. It has informed that I have finished. That's it. One more example I have here, that is store, a shop, a business component used as a part of a type of business or a part of vast business. So retail business. So here in this one, its properties, the size and the type of products or the type of items it is selling and so on. There are many things that you can identify as a property. The things that you are interested in, you can pick up those and say those are properties. There may be many properties. Next, methods. They do maintain the stock, right? They will purchase inventory. That is one thing. So the new items come in and they explain about the product or demo of a product, and they do billing. That are the methods. So these are some of the methods of this one. Now events, like a new stock has arrived, there's an event, and there's a discount going on, offer sale going on, so that's an event. So in this case, the store will inform you that there's an event, right? When you go and buy something, they must sell something to you, whatever you are interested in, items you want to select, you can select them and the billing will be done definitely. And when there is an event, they will call and inform you that there is an event, or they may send you a message. Now whether you want to go and not, that is up to you, right? So one interesting point from this we can pick up is, if you are interested in getting information about the events from this store, you can give your callback number, that is phone number, callback phone number. So whenever there is an event, they can send you a message or they can call you and inform you that there is a so and so event, right? And whether you want to respond to it or not, that's up to you. So if you have given a callback number, right, so it means you are interested in responding. Similar method approach is used in user interface programming, that is GUI programming in Java. We will not have callback phone numbers, but we'll have callback functions. Next, one more important point here is that in software component, when we talk about software component, it will also have properties and methods and events. These are the three things. And all these three things are in the form of functions. Like here I said event, it may be an LED or it may be a beep sound. Here event, overflowing of water, right? And here an event, a tick sound. Here is an event, phone call. Here is an event, a function. Method, that's a function. Property is also defined with the help of a function. Here are the example of components: label, button, choice, text field, and so on. These are all GUI components which are available in Java in AWT package. So all these components will have three things, that are properties, methods, and events. As I said, all these are available in the form of functions. You can also say these are software components, but they are only used in user interface, so you can also say GUI components. Java is having built-in classes for them, and these component classes are having functions like constructors, and the functions for properties, and the functions that are methods, means that are used for performing operations, and there are some functions related to events, right? So in Java we call functions as methods. So there are methods available like constructor methods and the property related methods and methods that are actual operations of a component, and events related methods are there. Here you can look an example. I have taken the example of button component. I have three different buttons here, example buttons. So there is a class available in Java AWT package, right? Class name is button and it is having constructor. One is for creating a button. Constructors are meant for creating an object. So this is for creating a component. So create a button along with the label text on it, that is OK or submit or cancel. What you want to write upon that button, you can give the text here. Then to set its properties, there are some properties like here I select first set label. You can set anything on this one, like first you have set OK, then you can also change it to something else. Or get a label means these together are meant for a property called label. Get set method together are forming a single property. Get is to know the property, set is for changing the property. Like suppose example, if you have a overhead tank here, get color means you want to know what is the color, set color means you want to color this tank, change the color of the tank. Set action command. Action command is nothing but same thing, a string only, the name of a button, the label on a button, right? But it's also taken as a command because OK means it makes some sense that OK means done, right? Yes, right, go ahead, right? Submit means finalize, final, or send something, some data. So it is making some meaning. So based on that meaning, we say it's action command. Submit is a command or OK is a command. It's nothing but a label only, but we also call it as a command. So these are some important properties, and it is having other properties also, like event. When you click this button, when you click on this button, right? When you click over it, when you click on this one, then it generates an event, and that event is called as action event. If you are interested in listening to this event, then you can register your callback functions by using these methods, that is add action listener or remove add action listener. You can add or remove your listener. Listener is nothing but if you are interested in listening or responding to that event, right? So these two methods are related to action event, or you can provide your listeners for action event, right? So actually click is an event, so you can call it as click also, but in Java they have given the name as action event because once you click on this, something has to be performed because it's a button. So that's why the name given the name as action event. Here is one more example. TextField. TextField is a component. It's having its constructors. So these are the constructors, like creating a text field with size means how much size you want, and if you want text filled in this one already predefined text or default text, and you can give default text as well as the size. That is having properties. Set text, you can set the text and you can get the text also. Set column, you can change the size, how many characters you want to be visible in the text field, the size of the text field, that is columns. Then set echo char. Suppose you want to make it as a password a text field and you want to echo asterisks, or sometime you want to display question marks in place of asterisks, so you can give whatever the character you want to display there. Then again here, usually what happens is we fill up these text fields and hit enter directly. So on the text field only the cursor is blinking, here you hit enter. So instead of going and pressing a button, sometime if we are on the keyboard, we simply hit enter. So if enter is pressed inside the key means finished, submit, or done, right? Completed. That's the meaning. So here also event generated is action event. It is similar to pressing a button. So that's why text field is also having methods for registering your callback methods for action event. So that's it. So I have explained 2 classes, so there are many more classes to come, as this is the first video on AWT. So my objective was to explain you or make you understand what does it mean by component and how a GUI component look like and what could be the possible methods in their classes. So this was just to give a brief idea. So I am going to publish or upload more and more videos. So I'm going to upload more and more videos on programming in Java using AWT package. So that is GUI programming Java. Hope you have understood. So please leave your feedback.